You learn so much from animals. They're just being. So I love that song so much because it talks about not going back. And also, sometimes when we're making decisions, we want to hold on to the past so that we can successfully make it to the next step. Except you can tell it's not comfortable. And what I think in the title of today's talk is Give It Up. Give it up. And it has so many, that give it up has so many meanings to it, doesn't it? It's like I could say right now, give it up for Stream and everything he did yesterday. Or I can say, give it up. There's so many, give it up. Oh, I like that one. Give it up. It can mean surrender. It can mean so many things. This week we're celebrating Martin Luther King. On Monday, his actual birthday is the 15th, but we're celebrating it tomorrow. And then it just so happens on the 21st is Ernest Holmes' birthday. And I thought that was a beautiful, and Loya's? Oh, that's right, you have the same one as Ernest Holmes. Actually, I just want to let you know this is Ernest Holmes. No, I'm just kidding. And I think that it is so amazing. And I was thinking this morning, I've had a little trouble with this particular subject of give it up. I wasn't connecting. Usually I have a little thread all week that I kind of play with. And this time I did not have it as much. But I was thinking of Martin Luther King, and all of us can relate to this. How many times he must have heard, give it up. How many times I've done the reading, I've watched the movies even on this wonderful man. They were like, man, give it up. Even people on his team. Come on, man, we can do it another way. You're kind of rocking a boat right now. Give it up. Just give it up right now. Ernest Holmes, I can just imagine when he brought the idea that we are God, that everything is God. I'm sure that a few people thought, I think you might want to rethink this and maybe give it up. I know that when Rita and I made our decision to come here 12 years ago, almost 12 years ago, there were many people that, even if they didn't say give it up, I saw it in their eyes. That look like, oh. And I think there's a part of us that keeps wanting to protect one another. We want to protect each other. And I know that with my mom, I was talking about last week about being average, and I said, I'm not average. I'm excellence. But, and yet, there's a part that she was doing that to protect me. Oh, if he gets out there too far. Oh, what if he's disappointed? Sorry to disappoint everybody, but no matter how I played it, I still had disappointment in my life. I don't know about any of you. And this whole idea of give it up is like a surrender. And I thought, I'm so glad that we didn't. Yesterday was somewhat transformational for me. I had a few moments that if I ever were to trans-channel, yesterday would have been maybe a little starting point of that, because when you allow yourself just to allow life to download you, it is an incredible experience. And it just feels so scary and so good all at the same time. And I was thinking of this particular teaching and why we came here, and I just so happened I had a little malfunction in my computer today for a moment. But this is the mission that we actually came here to lay out. And it says, we offer a safe space and the spiritual tools to facilitate the awakening of the individual's inner power to express successful relationships, optimum health, and a prosperous and creative life. And thank you. And I looked at Rita, and Rita looked at me, and we actually have done that. We have done that. And it's not yesterday, it was very interesting why yesterday was so interesting, because there were so many people, not that I did not know from our community, but that I don't see a lot of. They come, for the Dances of Universal Peace, they come for these things, and it's so beautiful, the community that we're creating, and it was so amazing to hear someone come up and say, I don't think you and Rita are quite aware of what you have done for us in this community. And, your first thought is like, what, really? Only because these were not new people, but they're people we don't see that often. And she said, we don't come here that often, but your presence is so known for our island more than you'll ever know. And she said, but I guess you hear this all the time. Not all the time. And I said, I'm going to stop. And there was like three ladies. It was a very Jesus moment for me. There were like three ladies standing there. And I said, I just want you to know that your compliments are not activating my ego right now. They're activating signs of land, as it were. Because sometimes we need the fuel to continue. We have done what we came here to do, and now we're being asked, now what? So, and yes, and it is saying, wow, we've done the community. Now what do we do with this community? And how do we take all of what we know and all of our individualistic and individualism of the one spirit and still be individual and yet still come together collectively? Because, as I said yesterday, our world needs this right now. Doesn't matter how big or small we're making it. As Emerson said, there is no big or small in the mind that maketh all. And I am sitting here at the precipice of something incredible. So yesterday wasn't just a reaffirmation. It was saying, I said to Rita too, we get calls from France and from different people we know that come out, can you treat for us? Once again, not activating the ego. What it's activating is that people believe in it. They believe that if we have a practitioner core, if we can come together and we can know the truth when you cannot, then we are activating energy. We are activating energy. And we are swimming deep in that quantum field right now. And it's powerful. And it's saying, give it up. It's not all up to you. You don't have to do it. I don't know about any of you, but I watch some of us, and we're working really darn hard to figure all of this out. Right? You're trying to overcome. And I think to myself, it's so wonderful when we could just say instantaneously, there's a power, and if we would just quiet for a moment and just say, wow, the power of the universe is working through me, as me, right here. And I have the audacity, because I was been given permission, I've been given authority to call anything I want into and as my life, but I must become it. I must become it. I cannot say that I am wealthy and prosperous no matter what, and look at my checkbook and say, until now. I believe in health, and I know that this is an area that gets people all, walking on this little eggshells. But it doesn't matter where you are in health, in wealth, in your relationships, in your creative pursuits, as he spits out into the, remember in the day? Oh, I remember spitting about 4 years ago, and I was practically thrown off the stage here. But anyway, we're spit free now. Anyway, back to where I was saying, this power, I intend to use it. And the other day, I was going, I wonder if it's too much, if it's this. I woke up a little bit with what I call the vulnerability hangover this morning. You know, because I was like, whoa, you kind of like got all crazy. I'm thinking, you always do that. So what are you getting all vulnerable now about? And I woke up and I said, it's vulnerable because somebody had to go first, right? Even Martin Luther King or our beautiful Ernest Holmes, he had to say, somebody's got to say it. Somebody's got to say, I listened to Mel Robbins. Does anybody know who this is? She's very funny. I watched her. I actually like her more than I watched her TED Talk than her newest thing about let them. That's her new book in her, let them. They treat me awful, let them. They're talking behind my back, let them. They're doing this, let them. And then she says, don't forget the most important part. Let me decide how I'm going to respond to it. We talk about time too. Someone said, I need to know, I don't never feel I have enough time. And it's really funny. When you do what you want and you stop allowing distractions in your life, it's amazing how much time we have. It is amazing. So I really was kind of plugged into her because she has this incredible, she's funny too. I didn't know she was this funny until I watched the TED Talk. But her whole purpose is get out of your way. And that's ours too, get out of your way. God. We go to do anything, and I know health is a biggie. I know it's a biggie. There's nothing, I love this when somebody will say to me, you know, always. Well, that's easy for you to say. And then in my Betty Davis voice, I say, well, that's why I'm saying it. Because you want me, I love this. Would you really want me to really get in there with you? Like we tend to do in my old life. I could outdo whatever drama you got going that I'm going to tell you. You know that what I'm talking about. Boy, it's been really hard getting on with this leg. Oh, you think that is? I could barely move with my sciatica. And then we start competing instead of like saying, let's stop for a moment and say, do you know who I am? And I know it's not always easy, but it is a necessity if we're going to live the kind of lives that we want. I think it was also Mel, she was talking about the word fine. I love that. She said there's a 4-letter word that the people, and she's got it up there, and I'm thinking, of course, what I'm thinking. I'm thinking she's going to come out with that, but she said, there's nothing worse, and I'm going to throw this in today, than when we say to one another, how are you? Fine. And she didn't hold back. She's like, you're copping out, man. Fine. This is the thing, and this is, I want to really throw it in about science of mind, especially when you say, I'm fine, which means kind of fair to middling, which kind of means either don't ask me or you don't really want to know. And so they go fine because you don't want to say, I love this. So how you doing? Amazing. Because I don't want you to feel bad. And you know there is truth in that. I remember feeling all bubbly and somebody's coming in, they go, how you doing, man? I'm like, oh shit, I can't tell them how I'm doing. Okay, fine. No, claim it. If your life feels, I've said this many times throughout my ministry, call it whatever you want, my life. When somebody says, I said, if you want to say, how's it going? My life is just crappy, man. Wow. Wow. Look how powerful I am. I screwed it all up. Oh, I screwed it all up. My life is an absolute disaster. Woo! You know my power's here. If you can mess it up, I'm the one who, you can come to me because I've got it all messed up. Until you remember something, you go, ooh, if I mess this crap up, ooh, I can set it straight. Ooh, because I got power. If I can screw up my life to this degree, to this enormous degree, then I can now call it all in and say, I was just kidding. I was just testing to see how much power I really had. Now it's really okay. I'm going to give you permission on this glorious day. It's really okay for you to manifest the best life ever. And be proud of it. And be proud of it. I was blind, but now I see. I was poor, but I was poor in mind. I was poor up here, I was poor out there. Now I am rich. Yeah, we'll prove it. No, you prove it. Act as if. I cannot want riches and everything in my life and not act rich. That doesn't mean, look what I have, look what I have. No, it means like, you know what? They took it all away from Patrick right now. I would still be just fine. Beyond fine. Because of who I am and where I come from. We come from royalty, man. We come from royalty. We can hold our head up and you can have not a dime in your pocket, or you could be struggling with any kind of health issue and you could say, well, I know what this looks like, but it ain't who I am. I know what this looks like to you. Don't give me your poor baby look. No, because underneath it, I am the I am. Wow, look at that chest just all the way back. I mean, just thinking about it. And look at, nothing's changed except me claiming it. Wow. Whoa. I decide to thrive in 2025. And I'm going to let you know, this attitude is sexy. Someone said, well, the other day I gave a little look sideways, and I just went, I go, oh, I thought I was much sexier in my head right now than what I am. And I said, and then I heard the voice, beautiful voice from within. It says, man, sexy starts inside. Everything starts inside. So whatever's going on in your life right now, claim it. Claim it. Claim it with pride. Wherever it's at, I don't care what's going on with you. Because those are appearances. And then you can say it to somebody, I'm sorry. You could be sorry somebody's going through something. But just remember, say, I'm sorry what you're going through, man. Oh, that ain't who you are. I know who you are. I know who you are. You can sit in the very back. I'll still know who you are. And I know who you are. Yes, I do. Mary. Royalty Mary. Loved by the universe Mary. I am complete. And so it is.